I'm pretty sure all of us at one point were sitting down and we told ourselves that we're finally going to complete the goal that we always wanted to do. No more playing around. I'm actually going to get up and I am going to do it right now. But then you just never do it. You keep on delaying it. Like first you say, I'm going to go and do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes 3 days, and then 3 days become a week, and then a week becomes a year, and then it just never gets done, and you completely forget about it. Well, I've been doing that for an extremely long time with one thing, and that is my extremely big backlogs of games that I keep on telling myself that I'm gonna play, but I just never do. At the beginning of this year, I've decided that I'm going to stop doing that, and I'm actually gonna play all the games in my backlog and stuff that I always wanted to play, but I just never did. And I've been slowly going down that list throughout the year, and every time when I play one game that's on that list, I want to go and talk about it. And today, I ended up playing one of those games, and that is being Ghostrunner. And I'm not gonna lie, this game is pretty disappointed. This is something that a lot of people are talking about very positively, so I came in with extremely high expectations, and I am here to say that I ended up leaving the whole experience pretty sad. Before I get into it, one thing that I want to say is, I don't think this is a bad game. I actually think it's extremely good, and if you are interested into buying it, I think you should. I'm just here to say that my experience that I ended up having with the game was just pretty sad, and I just expected more, because I feel like it has the potential to be better. Now, I know a sequel ended up coming out, but I haven't played it yet. That is the next game on my list, so I don't know if the sequel improves the game or make it worse, so I'm just not going to bring it up at all since I never played it. But before I get into the negatives, let me first start with the positive. One thing that I absolutely love about this game is the graphics and the art design. This game is beautiful. I know it's pretty old, I think it's like around 5 years old, and it still looks really good. Your main character, the environment, all of the swords, and the level design looks absolutely amazing. This game perfectly captures the cyberpunk aesthetic before cyberpunk even existed, especially when you're in that one level where you hop off the train and you're actually inside of the city. It looks so good. And even like the whole lab area of the game looks amazing. Every single character design when it comes to the main character himself, all of the bosses, and even just the enemies that are surrounding the place looks absolutely amazing. And the second thing that I have to bring up that's a positive is actually the controls. I think the controls and the gameplay of Ghostrunner is amazing. They completely master the feelings of you being a ninja. Like, you really feel like the Ghostrunner. Yes, I had to make that joke that literally every single person who decides to review a game or talk about a game decides to make, and I'm not really reviewing the game, I'm kind of just talking about it because all my reviews are extremely bad, and I'm positive this one is going to be bad too, but I just wanted an excuse to make that joke, and now I finally had a way to. Next up, I'm going to find a way to put a very unfunny game theory joke when I'm talking about something. But yeah, the gameplay is really good, and the whole first part of the game is amazing. So the first level, all the way until you decided to beat the second boss of the game, which I'm not going to name who it is, not for spoiler sakes, mainly because I completely forgot her name. When you first fight her, that's when the problems start showing. Like, before you make it up to her, the game is absolutely amazing. The first few levels, beautiful. The level design, spot on, 10 out of 10, amazing. The first boss, I still think is probably the best boss in the game. Even though it's not really a boss, you're kind of just going through the environment and dodging a bunch of laser beams. But I think the whole experience is absolutely amazing. But the second you fight that second boss, everything just starts falling apart. First, the second boss is terrible. It's just horrible. The way how I ended up beating her is actually just spamming the attack button over and over again, like constantly slamming it again and again until she ended up just dying, which I definitely don't feel like that's the way how you're supposed to beat the boss, but that is literally the easiest way to beat the boss, which I don't like when you have to beat something with cheesing, because I actually think trying to beat it normally is impossible, and the main reason why I think that is because of the controls. Although the controls are good, they're not really that responsive, and I feel like for the whole game, you're fighting with your character. Especially if you want to dash or go into slow motion, it feels like a complete gotcha roll which one works. And then also, the levels just get filled to the brim with just really bad design and stuff that just makes absolutely no sense. And you get this horrible whiplash experience because you'll go into one room which is just absolutely amazing. All of the enemy designs, I will get into the enemies soon. I should have got into that earlier. I'll talk about that after. But you'll go inside of a room and it will be amazing. All of the enemies matches, the room looks good, the environment is beautiful, the level design is really good. Then you just go in the next room and it's just absolutely terrible. Like, it feels like it's made with AI. It does not feel good at all. And when you finally beat the level, you don't really feel accomplished, like you actually completed this really good and amazing challenge. You don't feel like you beat this room because you learned it and you master it. You kind of just ended up leaving it feeling just dissatisfied. And then you'll go in the next room and it's just as difficult, but the room design is actually good, and you go through this feeling all the way until the ending of the game, and it's just really frustrated that the game just takes such a severe dip. It's really like a big hit where suddenly the game is a completely amazing 10 out of 10, everything is really good, just for you to beat the second boss of the game, and then just the rest of it is just terrible. And when you beat the game, it just leaves you with an extremely sour taste in your mouth, and it also doesn't help that the final boss is horrible. It is terrible. You just beat bootleg Dr. Octopus from Into the Spider-Verse, the first one, and it's just extremely bad. And that just makes me really sad. I don't know how the game is able to fall off that hard around the ending, but I just really wish the game could stick the landing. I mean, the game is still good. I still enjoy my time playing it. It just could have been better. With me beating the game, I just kind of left the whole experience kind of disappointed. Anyway, that's it. There's my extremely bad review of Ghost Runner. This is just something that I wanted to talk about. You have a good day or night. See ya.